What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I am headed back down to the red brick house. Be there in a couple hours. Oh, boy. And passing time through here and enjoying myself. It was cool because today we got my baby, my 100,000 subscribers plaque, and I feel so humble and proud about doing that. And of course, we got to see Micah Parsons, and it was funny because when we did the tailgate at FedEx Field, Micah's dad and his brother came to the tailgate, had a ball. He even brought a bottle of rum for Joe Boo and everything else, and we took some shots and things. Had a good time. In fact, that was the last victory the Cowboys had of the season, was beating the left-hand up Commanders. And we had free Micah shirts on, okay, where he's holding bars and stuff like that. And his dad loved the shirt, so he was like, man, I got to get me one of those. So I said, Tracy, I need you to make me one of those shirts so that way I can get it sent to Micah's dad, and I forgot to send it to him. And so, let me put this down. Got all these damn seats up here. This is ridiculous. Okay. I don't think I spend a lot of money to keep the economy going. This is all maintaining the red brick house and rental properties that we have that all have to be recorded for tax purposes. So I had the shirt, and I waffled on whether or not I was going to go today, and I was like, well, with Micah being in the news because you have the 105, the fan, trashing him, saying that the Cowboys are getting sick of him, and so on. I said, well, let me go see how his demeanor is, okay? And I could take the shirt and say, hey, your dad was at the tailgate, he wanted the shirt and everything else, if you can give it to him. And this year I was by myself. Mike has gone to Wrestling Mania and things, and Gina didn't come down to see Ceedee, and there weren't as many Cowboys as usual. And the funny thing is I gave him the shirt. I said, hey, listen, your dad was at our tailgate, had a ball, had some Joe Boo wings and everything, and he saw the shirt and he wanted one, and I said, I need to get him one. And I pulled the shirt and showed it to him, and it says free Micah. He's like, I'm keeping that. He's like, I'm keeping that one. So I'm going to have to get my wife to make another one for Terrence and try and get his address and get it up to him. But I'm sitting here thinking, and this is what I do when I'm driving so much. I love being on the road because it does give me an opportunity to contemplate the different things. And I was saying earlier today when I was driving, I was talking about Micah Parsons, Ceedee Lamb. And when you think about Deebo Samuels, and you think of Brandon Ayuk, and you think about those two guys, that together those two guys had 135 receptions. Ceedee Lamb had exactly 135 receptions by himself. And if you don't think that is tougher than two guys getting 135 yards, I don't know what to tell you. Because the amazing thing about those two guys is, you have to almost double cover them both. You can't double cover them both. One of them's covered, the other one's probably going to be open or in single coverage. And so you have more of a likelihood of making a connection with those two guys than you do if you only really have one receiver who's making all the hay. So when you look at it from that standpoint, Ceedee Lamb is getting the same production as those two guys, but you're only paying one guy. The thing here that's funny to me is when I talk about Ceedee, when I talk about Micah, when I talk about Dak, those are really your three best players on this roster. Now, don't get it twisted. Zach Martin is great. Tyler Smith is great. Both of those guys, without those guys playing the way they do, Dak doesn't have the time to be able to make those plays to Ceedee and so on. It's all relative. But you look at your three top guys, everybody's solution is if we just get rid of those guys, we'd be okay. Let's go out and just draft some other people. And it's almost funnier because, unfortunately, there's two sides, okay? You're either a Dak fan or a Dak hater. Now, I get labeled, the only thing I care about is Dak Prescott. I want to see him succeed, and other reasons that you guys give, which I'm not even going to give them any light here. What I look at is this. The reason why I like Dak Prescott is I believe that he's the best option that we have right now. It's funny because here's where it's crazy. We sit here and we talk about, Dak Prescott costs too much money, you can't pay him and things. But you know what's funny? Justin Herbert last year, when he got paid, coming off of a year, he had about 4,400 yards, 25 TDs, 10 interceptions. Did he deserve to be the highest paid player in football? I'm asking for a friend. And if we talk about, well, he's a game changer, a difference maker, the one year that he led his team to the playoffs, they got 4 takeaways from the Jaguars. They had a 27-0 lead, and they lost the game. But nobody said anything. How about Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones makes the playoffs for his very first time. I believe had 15 TDs and 5 interceptions. And he got paid $40 million, the same contract that Dak Prescott's paid. And I don't hear anybody saying that, they got to move on. They paid him too much. I don't hear anybody saying that. I don't hear anybody saying that, especially as bad as he played before he got injured. And since people are going to say, you just have it against white quarterbacks, like somebody literally said, because I said something about Josh Allen. Deshaun Watson, 14 TDs, 9 interceptions, $230 million fully guaranteed money. Not a $55 million cap hit like Dak Prescott is this year. Oh no. A $62 million cap hit. And you want to talk about dead money? Shit. Makes Dak Prescott's dead money of $40 million next year look like chump change. Chump change. I don't hear anybody saying that they need to trade him. Oh, by the way, that 14 TDs and 9 interceptions and 2,200 yards is his 2 seasons in Cleveland. Not 1 season, 2 seasons in Cleveland. So a contract that is guaranteed $70 million more than Dak Prescott. Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. Now, I get it. People will say, you just need a great quarterback. And you're going to win the Super Bowl. You know what's crazy? The last time Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl, do you know how many touchdown passes? Excuse me, not won the Super Bowl. Excuse me. Last time he won MVP. Do you know how many touchdown passes he had? Do you? 36. His numbers were almost identical to Dak Prescott, with the exception of he only had 4 interceptions on the year. They were the number one seed that season. And after we played San Francisco and lost to them, we shouldn't have, broke up Jimmy Garoppolo, where Jimmy Garoppolo goes to Green Bay and only throws for 115 yards. Green Bay loses at home. And I don't want to hear that they didn't have anybody, because they had Aaron Jones, they had Devontae Adams. They were a loaded team, which is why they were the number one seed. And if it's only the quarterback, then why are people right now saying, poor Josh Allen? He's lost all his weapons. He's got nobody to throw to. And if it's only the quarterback and you don't need anything but a quarterback to elevate, then why are the Texans going out and getting themselves a Joe Mixon running back? Why are they going out there and getting a Stephon Diggs, one of the best receivers in football? Because clearly, you got a great quarterback. That's all you need. At least if you are talking about the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, it's only the quarterback. Yeah. Those kind of things that pop up in my head here, because we keep talking about getting rid of people who perform. Now, nobody performs perfect every single time. You have good days and bad days. Trust me. I know you do. I know you do. Don't act like that every day you are 100%. You're not. And that's why you need multiple people. So some weeks, maybe Ceedee Lamb has a bad game, but then you have another guy over there who can take up the slack. Or maybe, one of your guys gets hurt, and that's where you have somebody else to take up the slack. These things matter. And for those out there who say that Brock Purdy is the most incredible quarterback ever, let me ask you what happened when Deebo Samuels got hurt. How'd y'all do? How'd y'all do without Deebo in the lineup? I'll wait. 3 losses in a row until he came back. So clearly, players around the quarterback do matter. Unless, of course, you're the quarterback of the Cowboys, then it doesn't. Alrighty, good people. I hope you all are having a great evening. And I'm going to do what I do. And that's just to keep on rolling. Yeah, just keep on rolling. And I'll see you back at the Red Brick House at some point. Peace.